pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Need a motion to approve last week's minutes for September 16th.
Moved.
Second. Got a motion from Bunceness and a second from Mark Remley. All in favor? Oh, I guess we'll do a roll call vote on that. Carl?
Councilmember Remley.
Here. Yeah, aye.
Okay. Ronayne.
Aye.
Lunsman.
Aye.
Rife.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Bunceness.
Aye.
Olson.
Aye.
Rux. Aye. Mayor Schoeneman.
Aye. Motion does carry. First order of business will be an official proclamation. Whereas Aberdeen Community Concert Association is celebrating its 80th anniversary of bringing internationally acclaimed artists to perform in Aberdeen, South Dakota, we believe that the arts benefit everyone, and we strive to provide access and exposure to high-quality live musical performances at affordable prices. And whereas our public performances and outreach activities entertain, uplift, educate, and inspire audiences and students, when artists are willing and touring schedules allow and monetary resources are available, school performance or master classes for students are offered. And whereas our concert season runs September through May, generally offering 4 to 5 concerts per season. The upcoming season is announced in March or April. And whereas the Aberdeen Civic Music Association, later Aberdeen Community Concert Association, was started in 1938, when a representative of the National Civic Music Association and a number of interested Aberdonians met to discuss the possibility of forming a local concert association under the auspices that the national organization, in order to provide a series of regularly scheduled, high-quality concerts to music enthusiasts in the Aberdeen area. That same year, the Aberdeen Civic Theater and Arena has been completed, and a new theater with its large stage, state-of-the-art lighting, inclined floor, and seating capacity for 1,500 plus, offered an attractive performance setting for visiting concert artists as well as audience members. The availability of this facility, plus the push for national representative, convinced the local group to organize the Civic Music Association. And whereas by 1957 a change was desired and the association voted to change its national affiliation from Civic Music Association to the Community Concerts Organization. Community Concerts, a subdivision of Columbia Artists, was organized in 1927 to connect artists and audiences from coast to coast. And whereas in 1965, the Aberdeen Community Concert Association was restructured and incorporated as a nonprofit group, it continued the tradition of bringing high-quality entertainment to the Aberdeen community. Since 2004-2005 season, Aberdeen Community Concert Association has been booking concerts through Live on Stage based in Nashville, Tennessee. Whereas the association is managed by a board of 18 directors who are elected by the membership and equally as dedicated to continue providing quality music entertainment to the citizens of Aberdeen area as the 6 organizers of the Aberdeen Civic Music Association were over 80 years ago. Now, therefore, be it resolved, I, Travis Schoeneman, Mayor of Aberdeen, South Dakota, do hereby proclaim and encourage the citizens of Aberdeen to support our local community concert association and enjoy all these high-quality musical performances offer. Thank you. And Gene, why don't you say a few words?
It is on. Okay. Wearing the hat tonight as president of the Aberdeen Community Concert Association, and several of our board members are here. And just wanted to thank you for that proclamation and the support that we've received from not only the city of Aberdeen, but also all the members of Aberdeen over these 80 years, which is a tremendous accomplishment. And we're really excited about our 80th season, which begins on Thursday this week with the Glenn Miller Orchestra opening the season. That includes the Sons of Sarah Dip, which is the finalists in the season 9 of America's Got Talent. We got the Maxwell Quartet coming from Scotland, and we close the season with the Beach Boys tribute. So we're known for the high quality of entertainment, but also proud of the fact that the variety of music that we bring to Aberdeen. So we want to thank you very much for that proclamation and appreciate that very much, Mayor.
Thank you. Oh, sure. And would you like official copy of the proclamation, Jim?
Absolutely.
Pass that on to you.
All right.
I'll leave it up here, and if you don't want to get it right now, I can get it to you afterwards. Perfect. Well, thanks for doing it for 80 years.
Congratulations, Gene.
All right, since no one has signed up to speak at the open forum, we'll move on to the consent calendar, routine city business. We've got items A through F. Need a motion to approve those consent calendar items.
Move approval.
Second.
Got a motion from Olson and a second from Reif. Does anyone have any questions or concerns about the consent calendar items? Otherwise, Carl, can I get a roll call vote on those?
Councilmember Rux.
Aye.
Olson.
Aye.
Bunceness.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Reif.
Aye.
Lunsman.
Aye.
Ronayne.
Aye.
Remley.
Aye.
Mayor Shonneman.
Aye. Motion does carry. Next, we'll move to the new business ordinance. Number 190901, ordinance to rezone Lot 1 Steel Tigan addition to Aberdeen in the northwest quarter of the southwest quarter of the Section 16, and on and on. Brett, what can you tell us about this?
This property is located at 4015 Steel Avenue. They're requesting rezone from Industrial District to Highway Commercial District in order to find a zoning district that will allow them to have a less setback for their sign. They had a new sign that was put up in error, so they're rezoning it to try and bring that into compliance. Staff and Planning Commission recommend approval with the stipulation that sidewalk is installed on the property.
Move to approve.
Second.
I've got a motion from Ronayne and a second from Bunceness. Carl, can I get a roll call vote?
Councilmember Remley.
Aye.
Ronayne.
Aye.
Lunsman.
Aye.
Reif.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Bunceness.
Aye.
Olson.
Aye.
Rux.
Aye.
Mayor Shonneman.
Aye. Motion does carry. The next item we've got is the hearing on the special liquor license for September 24th for the Aberdeen Downtown Association's Wine Walk, including community event permit request for the same possible approval of the special liquor license on September 24th and community event permit for the Downtown Association Wine Walk from 6th Avenue to Railroad Avenue. We got anyone from the Downtown Association here?
Move to approve. Second.
Does anyone have any discussion or questions as it relates to this liquor license?
I would like to point out that I didn't place it on mine, but the fire marshal did place on his that Dakota Territory is not approved to participate in this. They don't have a certificate of occupancy, so they cannot be utilized by the public at this time.
Is that, does that change anything as far as this license is concerned?
They are part of the license. They're part of the wine walk.
I see. So do they need to be notified then? about that?
The Downtown Association has been notified.
Okay, and so we'll leave it in their hands to communicate with
I just wanted that brought up
Dakota
so there's not
Territory.
a surprise when this happens.
Sounds good. We've got a motion from Remley and a second from Ronayne. Has anyone else got any other discussion points about this liquor license? Otherwise, Carl, give me a roll call vote.
Councilmember Rux.
Aye.
Olson.
Aye.
Bunceness.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Reif.
Aye.
Lunsman.
Aye.
Ronayne.
Aye.
Remley.
Aye.
Mayor Shonneman.
Aye. Motion does carry. Next item is review and discuss a tentative draft of the coordinated transportation plan. Is that what you're here for, Tom?
Yep.
Great. Tom, you've got the floor.
This is just being brought up to the council, obviously because you guys approved money to have this plan drawn up. This is a plan that is required by the state DOTs, and it is required to be back to them by September 30th, therefore the short turnaround time that we're having to bring this in a draft form. This is not the final copy of this coordination plan, it is just the draft. Obviously, we are making changes to this as we're getting these pages in from the consulting firm. So there will be some more changes made to this, but we needed to get the council to have eyes on this before we could submit it to the DOT. So that's the reason we're bringing it to you now.
Anything stand out with it, Tom? Anything unusual?
No, I guess, one of the things that and maybe people aren't aware of this, the coordinated transportation plan is not a plan to see necessarily what Rideline can do more of or better. It's to see what other agencies in the city can do to help with transportation issues. realizing that Rideline isn't capable of providing all the transportation needs that the city of Aberdeen has. One of the biggest things that it looks like is going to come out of this plan is a need for a transportation committee in which they are going to ask other agencies to have people on a committee and see what we can do to work together to provide better transportation for all the citizens of Aberdeen. Whether it be, I know the biggest issues that we see right now are basically the transportation before or after school. And one of the things that they're looking at is, are there other places that have buses sitting idle during those times that maybe we could utilize them to get additional transportation provided? So that's one of the big things that stands out in the plan as it sits right now.
Just exceeding capacity with the ride line.
Yep.
Gotcha. Is anyone else?
We also discovered that there's a 2.5 mile gap between where the school district cannot pick up and we cannot go beyond. So we're allowed to go 2.5 miles out of the city limits. The school district does not start picking up kids until 5 miles out. So there's a band of 2.5 miles around Aberdeen that is unserved.
Do you have any idea how that came to be?
That's the school district told us that was their state mandated distance that they could start from. And I guess as far as I know, the service range of Rideline has always been the 2.5 miles. So I guess I don't know if, that was considered.
So the school district cut in-school busing back in the early 2000s. I didn't remember that it was a 5 mile range, but they cut it for budget reasons.
Yep.
So they're required to bus beyond 5 miles. They're permitted to bus across
Within-
the street.
Do we have any idea how many people were missing out in that 2.5 mile?
No, that's something that we're going to try and work on with that transportation committee and find out how big of a need there is in that 2.5 mile zone.
Sure.
Good.
Do you have a sense of how many kids are utilizing Rideline for before and after school?
This is going off of memory, which is scary. I want to say like 97 right now, and we've currently got a waiting list of 15 additional students again that don't have the capacity for. So
Yeah, within your service line summary, it talked about decrease within ridership, but it also went on to say that 21% of this decline was associated to work employment trips.
yes,
Was there a large employer that we utilized your service that we lost, or is it a configuration of many employers stop utilizing our service?
5 years ago we were able to include all the ridership from the Aspire buses because there was a tie to the federal dollars with Aspire. And then I believe it was last year we dropped the last 3 buses off of the ridership. So in that 5 to last year term is where we saw the biggest drop in the numbers. And we were dropping anywhere from, it was roughly about 12,000 rides per year were being dropped off of there with the Aspire.
Okay. Do you remember what last year you increased your rider fees? The last year that you increased your rider fees?
I do not know that, no.
Okay.
As far as like I said, as long as I've been there anyways, which is 4 years, it's been $2 a ride. And I know they said it's been $2 a ride for a long time before that, so.
Okay. I asked when you look at expanding area that you look at the fees in addition to it where we can't run negative services all
Right.
the time.
Yep.
Is the fee from Aberdeen to Summit, is that a $2 fee?
No. That is done on a Jefferson bus line, Rob, and that is a separate ticket. The ticket to get just to Summit is basically $36. If they want to go to Fargo or to Sioux Falls, it's somewhere between $75 and $80,
Okay.
depending on what day they're traveling.
Thank you.
But they buy that ticket separately. We get a commission off of that ticket sale.
All right. Turn on profit.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay, thank
Very
you.
informative.
So are we looking for any motion to place this on file, or I see we have proposed action motion by, so or is there no action needed?
I believe not.
Typically, most of the time when we do state agency reports, you have to place it on file.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
We've got a motion to file this away by Bunzlis and a second by Johnson. Carl, can I get a roll call vote?
Maybe. Councilmember Remley.
Aye.
Ronayne.
Aye.
Lunsman.
Aye.
Rife.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Bunceness.
Aye.
Olson.
Aye.
Rux. Mayor Shonneman.
Aye. Motion does carry. Next, we've got a quote from SPX Flow to repair the carbon tank at the water treatment plant. Possible approval to accept the quote from SPX Flow in the amount of $30,283 to repair the tank at the water treatment plant. Bob, you've got some information for us.
Yeah, well, in our inspection of the carbon tank, we discovered that the shaft for the mixer arm has severely degraded. So we need to get that replaced so we're able to reuse that tank in the future.
Bob, by chance, did you bring a photo?
I think it
It's
should,
in your, it's in
should be in the
the
package.
packet.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't have it with me.
But that's 26 feet long.
Approximately 22 to 26 feet long. It starts off as 5 inches stainless steel, and it gets brought down to it gets tapered down in 2 different sizes. So it's a specialty item that not every machine shop can make. So
So in the picture, how long of distance is that?
I think that's only showing about a foot or so of distance.
Okay.
So it's pretty zoomed in.
Keep in mind that he's only talking about one carbon tank, so once you finish this one, then you get to do the next
I
one.
will have a
next year.
second one. In 2010, those mixer blades had eroded away, and they were replaced initially in 2010. At that time, the shaft was still good, and every couple of years we go in and inspect the system to see how it's doing. So before it was just a high carbon steel, but with the stainless steel, they will last a lot longer.
I move to accept the quote from SPX Flow in the amount of $30,283.
Second?
Otherwise, those tanks seem to be in pretty good condition.
We maintain them pretty well. We've had to replace the piping inside, and we've replaced the mixer blades, but they seem to be holding up otherwise.
Sounds good. We've got a motion from Ronayne and a second from Bunceness to accept the quote. So now, any questions as relates to that? Or else, Carl, would you give me a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Rux. Aye. Olson.
Aye.
Bunceness.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Rife.
Aye.
Lunsman.
Aye.
Ronayne.
Aye.
Remley.
Aye.
Mayor Shonneman.
Aye. Motion does carry. Thank you, Bob. Next, we've got the purchase of a 2020 tandem box and hoist for the Public Works Department. Possible approval to purchase 2 boxes and hoist from Safety Service, Inc. in the amount of $65,500. 2020 tandem truck with trade from Crawford Trucks and Equipment in the amount of $64,685, and a 2020 tandem truck from Crawford Trucks and Equipment in the amount of $81,685 as recommended. Robin, tell us a little bit about that, please.
Well, we did bid just one truck, and we will be going through the process, or could be going through the process again here in just a couple months to try to have a truck in place for our 2020 process. The price came in at such a price that we felt that it would not make sense to bid a second truck, that we would rather get 2 trucks off of this bid, and that way we could assure ourselves of having that second truck in place before next construction season. So our recommendation is for the 2. They're both within budget. We won't receive either of them before the 2020 budget goes into effect anyway. So we would be using, I guess, carryover, Carl, you can explain that, I guess, but it would be 2019 money carried over into 2020 to pay for the first one anyway, so.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To approve both purchases.
Second.
We've got a motion from Johnson and a second from Rife as relates to approving these quotes and making these purchases. Anyone have any questions or comments? Otherwise, Carl, can you give me a roll call vote on that, please?
Councilmember Remley.
Aye.
Ronayne.
Aye.
Lunsman.
Aye.
Rife.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Bunceness.
Aye.
Olson.
Aye.
Rux. Mayor Shonneman.
Aye. Motion does carry. The next item we've got is the approval of bill list for September 23rd, 2019. in addition to the bills which were provided in the packet, there's an additional one for Titles of Dakota for the amount of $131,058, which was for the house, which we had voted to approve at the edge of the parking lot just east of this building. Can I get a motion to approve these bills?
Moved. Second.
A motion from Lensman and a second from Olson, I believe. My ears aren't deceiving me here. Does anyone have any questions about any of the bills that are listed? Otherwise, Carl, can I get a roll call vote to pay for these bills?
Councilmember Rux.
Aye.
Olson.
Aye.
Bunceness.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Rife.
Aye.
Lunsman.
Aye.
Ronayne.
Aye.
Remley.
Aye.
Mayor Shonneman.
Aye. Motion does carry. City Manager's report. Lynn, have you got some information for us?
Two items. The first item was listed within the city manager's report, and that was an email from Library Board President Paul McDonald, and he had indicated to me that the board has decided to keep the existing weekend hours for the near future. So therefore, the hours will remain on Saturday and Sunday from 12 noon to 4 p.m., and the library will be closed on the Sundays before designated and recognized holidays that fall on Mondays. And so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 time periods where it'll be closed on Sunday, and that would be because of the holidays on January 20th, February 17th, May 25th, September 7th, and October 12th. The last item is I want to thank you for calling the special meeting. I asked for the special meeting, and the purpose behind the special meeting tomorrow will probably be a 2-minute meeting, but the feds indicated they had some discretionary funds they were willing to give to us for the airport project, and they told us that we had 48 hours to respond. Rich received that notice at 9 a.m. this morning, and I thought a special meeting would be proper, especially for the fact that we would receive approximately $4 million. And that's why I asked for the special meeting tomorrow.
Nice work.
Not that busy.
All right.
One thing, now that you got your 2 trucks, where's 3rd Avenue Bridge at?
Visited with them this afternoon. They felt that they would have things in pretty good shape within the month, within the next month. So they're working on the jersey barriers on the sides right now. They'll be installing some fence, and they've got, of course, their transitions from each end from the roads. So they're placing riprap. They're doing a lot of the things for finish up, but they've got a number of little things to take care of, and it all takes a little bit of time to get each piece done.
So any prediction when we'll have traffic on it?
I would say by the 1st of November, they should have it ready. So about a month.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Olson.
Robin, what happened over at First and South Dakota?
First in South Dakota was a hole in the bottom of a 24-inch transmission line that feeds our water towers. And so we've got other feeds, but some of the water has to go basically through a back door, so it's not as efficient to get the water into those towers. It's a pressurized system. You got to get it up to a certain level on the towers in order to keep that 55 pounds pressure within your home. And without that feed, it was just taking us longer to get water into the towers, and so that's why the PSA went out to ask you for some patience in maybe taking shorter showers, using less water for a part of the day. We were done with that portion and opening it back up by before noon on Friday, but it took some time, and we saw the towers drop. About half the tower dropped in from morning when we started to when we got it completed. So it was not dire, but it was certainly, we didn't have a lot of time. We would have been in tough shape if it had taken the whole day.
Be an appropriate time to give some acclaim to Robin for that, because he was golfing in the city golf tournament when he discovered this and took off to deal with it. So, nice work, Robin.
Thank you.
Dedicated to the cause.
Yeah.
Your team probably thanked you.
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Can I make a quick
Oh,
comment?
sorry,
I forgot.
go
You earlier asked about the fact that you wanted to talk about the promotional process as well as the forms and the timing.
I've tentatively set that to be on the October 7th agenda, and I will give you all the materials relating to the process that we use right now on the 3rd, showing respective timeframes projected out for the year 2020.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Moved.
Second.
A motion from Bunsen and a second from Olson. Can I get a roll call vote? Carl, please.
Councilmember Remley.
Aye.
Ronayne.
Aye.
Lunsman.
Aye.
Rife.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Bunceness. Olson.
Aye.
Rux. Mayor Shoneman.
Aye, motion is carried, and we are adjourned. Thank you.
So you get anyone in those standing trucks?